How is it going, everybody? What's up? Once again, peace be upon you all, and welcome to. I even forgot what the episode is because we've done so many episodes, and
Yeah.
we just, you know, can't stop having fun recording episodes for you guys, having great conversation. So, welcome to. I believe this is the eighth episode of the Dinner
Eighth
Convo.
episode.
Exactly, guys. We never believed we could make it this far. Oh, and it just makes us even more excited to understand that people are viewing our content. So thank you guys for watching us and helping us make it this far. And once again, Fardin, yes, I'll let Fardin take over the boring part because our other two hosts are missing today. So in
Yeah.
memory of Adel, I wore a shirt that is gifted by him. So yes, Fardin, please.
So before we start off the video, I just want to say, if you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to our channel to show some love and support. And if you have any suggestions on how we can improve this,
No, wait,
improve
wait.
more on our
Come on,
podcast.
Fardin. I need that energy. Where is
Yeah.
that, man? Come on, give me that energy.
Man, it's inside.
Come on.
It's inside me. I'm not able to show it
No,
because
you
I'm
need to
so
keep
excited
that
about the
energy.
guest,
Come on,
man.
bring it up.
I'm
Bring
so
that
excited to
energy.
talk to our guest today that I can't even talk properly.
Exactly, same here. Okay, Fardin. So yeah, talking about this podcast started during the pandemic, and one of the things that the pandemic has brought a huge toll upon is traveling.
Exactly.
Like traveling. Who wouldn't have? I mean, I've had so many things planned after O levels, and like travel there. Take
Exactly.
photos. I mean, you've had similar plans as well, yeah, and
Bro, everything got canceled like after
yeah,
Corona happened. It's like we had so many plans and it just, just
yeah.
vanished
I've
like
been
that.
wanting to go to New York for quite a while, but thankfully, although I
Oh,
couldn't make
that's
New York
great.
this year, but our today's guest will actually allow us to to get a glimpse of New York because for me, what I feel is he is a part of New York because that guy is so energetic about promoting the city, doing awesome videos about New York and traveling the world in general. An awesome videographer. He is on YouTube with over 200K subscribers and just in all, an awesome person and very, very, very
Absolutely.
exciting personality. So without any further ado, let's just bring him in because the podcast needs him right now. Okay, so Brett Conti, all the way from New York. Brett, can we have you?
What's up, guys? And thank you for that great introduction. I'm so happy to be here and talking with you guys.
Oh my
Hey
God,
man, what's up?
I'm prouder. This is amazing.
Yeah,
How are
not
you?
much. I mean, you guys are interviewing me, but I feel like I want to know more about your guys' life in Bangladesh. So when I start a podcast, you guys are gonna have to come on it, and we'll do this
Yeah,
vice
we
versa.
will be happy to.
Yeah,
We'll be happy to. No
we'll get
worries.
to know each other in through this
Exactly.
podcast.
This is what this is all about.
Definitely.
This is what this is all
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Yeah. Once again, Brett, thank you for being here. And
Of course.
if my accent can come across a bit cringy. I've had a lot about it in the comment section. A lot of people were like, "Why does he have this very cringy, fake British accent?" But he said it, and then it all becomes normal. But yeah, you have to bear with me, guys. Brett, I hope you'll bear with me as well. Okay, Brett. Speaking of which, last episode we've had your guest, your friend, Gabriel DeSanti, on this show talking about New York because New York is a very a city that I prefer a lot. And so you live in New York as well. Your videos, a lot of your videos are about New York. So, and New York is expensive. Trust me, it's very expensive. I've never been there, but I've watched videos. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's
So,
not cheap.
how do you live in New York on a budget?
I mean, when I first started my YouTube channel, when I first moved to the city, I was definitely living way more on a budget. Like it was, dollar cups of ramen noodles and eating dollar dumplings and dollar pizza. But the longer I lived here, the more I knew how to work it and like where to grocery shop, where to eat, where to go out. I mean, and now definitely very fortunate where don't have the budget as much as I used to. The city is a city where dreams become reality. So I'm very fortunate that, when I first moved here, I was kind of confused and lost. Didn't really know how I was going to, be able to afford it. But luckily there's so much opportunity here where now, I can live very comfortably even here in New York City. So very grateful for that.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. I mean,
Fantastic.
that's really good to hear. Like, 'cause a lot of people would want to go there and may be discouraged by the fact that it's expensive, and then they might hear that there are a lot of opportunities that would more encourage them. And speaking of which, Brett, do you have any advices for people wanting to travel in New York on a budget?
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of videos I could send them from my YouTube channel, or more specifically, yeah, there's definitely so many ways to travel the city for cheap. I mean, instead of taking taxis, you could get a city bike membership, which is like $10 for the day, and pretty much city bike all around the city. There's, the Staten Island Ferry, which is essentially a free boat ride that can take you and give you beautiful views of Manhattan. Like there's so many free activities. There's free kayaking. There's, so many other different things. Like the museums are free on certain days. So if you do your research, if you watch my YouTube channel and subscribe, then you can
Yes,
find,
definitely,
so many hacks and
Definitely.
tricks.
yes, yeah, and I actually started watching your channel a few months back, and a few days back, and I was like, oh my god, this content creator is something, and he's got potential. And I've been binging your videos
Like,
in the last few days, watching your awesome vids, and Farden has been dying to have to be a part of this conversation. I feel like he feels left out. Farden, come join in. You have something
yeah.
to talk about.
So, Brett, if I'm not wrong, I think you started your YouTube channel by posting skateboard videos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've always been
Yeah.
into skateboarding and action sports and like snowboarding, surfing, like anything with a board I loved doing and making videos about that. And then once I moved to the city, I wanted to start documenting more about my story of, trying to make it in the city, and then also like my travels. Like when I started my YouTube channel, I was spent like 4 months in Asia. So that's like kind of where actually I was traveling with Living Bobby, fellow YouTuber and my old
Oh,
roommate. And that's like pretty much when we started our YouTube channels, just like as we were traveling. So it all came from, I would say, skateboarding, like where I got into video making and how I knew how to edit and use a camera. But then it wasn't until I started traveling and living in New York where I started doing more filmmaking and vlogs, not about action sports.
Oh wow.
so you have traveled in quite a lot of places. So, till now, which is your favorite place to visit?
Ooh, probably the Philippines.
Oh,
The
Oh
wow.
wow. Yeah.
Philippines is pretty incredible. It's very affordable, blue water, incredible beaches. It's just like everything about it is amazing, especially the people. But I haven't been to Bangladesh yet, so
You're
who
welcome here,
knows?
buddy. Anytime you want to
You're
come,
welcome. You're very
What
just
welcome.
city are
message
you guys in?
We're in Dhaka,
You're
the
in
capital.
Dhaka.
Yeah, the capital. We're in Dhaka. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We actually live in the same area, Farden and I, but
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, we're recording from different places. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. If you're ever in Bangladesh, or if you ever just want to, just hit us up on Instagram. We'll
All
be in
right,
contact. Yeah.
I will.
And Farden is very excited today because Living Bobby and you are his favorite YouTubers. So
Hey,
yeah,
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I've never seen him this excited in an episode before. He's usually like really, stiff and serious. And today he's very excited today. Yeah. Speaking of which, Brett, we usually have this segment on the show that we recently introduced to keep guests, entertained, to have them, get more involved in the show. This segment of the show is called the Why Wait Round. So this was the Why Wait Now round was, named. Name was given by our a guest on the fifth episode, Jamie Lawthorne, who named it, and we loved the name. So we were like, let's just keep this Why Wait. So this round, we'll be asking you, a couple of rapid fire questions. You'll have like 1 minute. The questions will mostly have like 1-2 word answers, and they're not open. They're open-ended questions. So what's your favorite food and questions like that,
Okay,
and you'll be
I can
given
just
one.
answer in one word.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you
let's do it.
or maybe a small sentence, no problem. You'll be given
Yeah,
1 minute
exactly.
and 30 seconds to answer them,
Oh, all
and
right.
and the fun part is, you'll be competing with the other guests in the leaderboard. So we
All
have
right.
since episode 4. So our highest scorer is your friend Gabriel DeSanti, who apparently
30.
had 30 answers, which was astounding. We can't believe it. So he's like, he did tell us to tell him how much you scored. So he was technically competing.
I'm gonna take the
Yeah.
gold. Let's do this.
Okay.
Oh,
So
we have some competition here.
yeah. Okay. So excuse me if I mess up a few questions. I'm still new with this. I'm trying my best to get good.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Brett, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Brett, what is your favorite place in New York?
Chinatown.
What is that about Chinatown that you love the most?
The dollar dumplings.
What is your favorite country?
The Philippines.
Do you prefer Asia or Europe?
Asia.
What is one thing about Asia that you love?
The food.
Would you rather skateboard to a place or cycle to a place?
Skateboard.
What's one thing about skateboarding that you love the most?
Um, it's challenging.
What sport do you play any sports?
Baseball.
Why do you love baseball?
Yeah, it's just a fun way to be active.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Did you ever play soccer in your life?
I did, yes.
New York or LA?
New York.
What's your favorite food in New York?
Pizza.
Dollar pizza or Chinatown dumplings?
Dollar pizza.
Is Times Square overrated?
No.
Why do you love traveling?
It's an escape from my life.
Last question, if you weren't a YouTuber, what would you be?
Oh, we hit the
What-
timer, but what would I be?
Yeah.
I would probably be a stockbroker, unfortunately, but I'm not.
Okay, so Fardin, did you get the count?
Yeah, Brett got 17.
Oh,
Now the thing is,
That was
Gabriel didn't
actually
actually
great.
get 30. Yes, Gabriel didn't actually get 30. So he told us to tell you that she got 30.
how many did he get?
He got
He got
14.
15? 15 or 14?
14, yeah. Got 14.
14.
He defeated Gabriel, actually. And not only did you defeat Gabriel, you actually are at the top of our leaderboard. You're tied.
Yeah, you're tied with Brett.
You're tied with our first ever guest to ever do this. He has 17. You have
Okay.
17. So you both have the first place.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Brett.
Thank you.
That
was
awesome.
fun.
We don't have a gift to give you, but it's our the happiness and excitement
Yeah.
that should be transferred to
Thank you.
That's the best gift we can give you. Okay, Brett. Now let's go. Let's talk about your career. How did you start YouTube? That's like everybody has their own stories. What's your story?
I was traveling a lot and wanted to document it, and I think I always had this dream of becoming a YouTuber. It did seem like pretty unreachable, when you have 0 subscribers. It doesn't seem something that comes easy. It seems pretty elusive. So, that was always in the back of my mind, and I did already just love making videos and, seeing a little community grow. So I didn't care if I didn't actually become a YouTuber at the time. I just wanted to try and make the videos anyway. And after, a couple of years of doing it, here we are. But yeah, I would say that it was mostly because even to this day, I would still be making videos like I do now, even if it wasn't my job. It's just something that I'm so passionate about and love doing and gives me so much excitement. But it does help that now I get to call it my job and, fully focus on it, which is nice.
Oh, I mean, that's really fantastic. I mean, you had a very modest start to YouTube. Now you're this successful, and we love seeing your content, and we hope that you'll bring out better content in the future as well. And what got you into traveling? Because a lot of people have a lot of. Before we get into that, Fred, this is our third host, Adel, who is.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Sorry for being late. I was stuck in a work. Sorry for
Uh,
that.
He's actually he's studious, so he was studying while we were
okay,
doing this.
valid
Yeah,
excuse. I'll take it.
yeah, and yeah. Yo, let's talk about what got you into traveling. How did you become the man you are today through traveling, though?
Yeah, I would definitely say that traveling is probably the one thing that gives me the most excitement in life. And when I studied abroad in college in Madrid, Spain, and from that experience, I had so much fun just like not just like I've traveled with my family before, but like you're bouncing around so much and staying in like nice hotels. But when I like actually lived in a new city for that was like 2 months, it was just such an amazing experience to like force myself to meet the locals and understand the culture and see what the rest of the world was like. So, I spent a lot of time in Europe that summer that I studied abroad, and then the next year I went out to Asia and spent 4 months out there. And every single day just woke up excited and couldn't wait to go explore a new place and meet new people and just the unknown of what would happen that day of when you are traveling in new places. It's so exciting. And yeah, I mean, ever since I started, I never stopped and definitely don't plan to stop ever. And I think I am probably the most excited person for this pandemic to end so we can start traveling again.
Yeah, certainly, certainly.
That's
We
great to
do
hear.
hope when it ends, we do want to watch you guys travel again with your vlogs again.
Yeah.
Because that for the people who can't travel, that's what gives
We're
them
all waiting
satisfaction.
for everyone's YouTube videos.
Right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do actually have my first trip planned for a couple weeks from now. I will be heading to Mexico.
Oh,
Okay.
that's great.
So it's actually like the Americans are allowed to travel there and the cases are good and got tested and we'll be getting tested again like the day before I fly. And then um, I don't normally do this. I've only bought like maybe two or three business or first class flights in my life, but I did it for this flight just because then I can socially distance on the plane and make sure that I'm like extra careful.
All
But
right.
yeah, so the plan is to like post up in Tulum, Mexico for a couple weeks and do
Oh,
some quarantining out there in a new place.
oh, will we see any new vlogs?
Oh yeah, definitely should be doing some
We were
New
excited.
Mexico
That's what I
travel
Well,
wanted to
vlogs.
we're
hear.
already excited.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank
Can't
God.
wait to see
Right.
you in Tulum. Yeah, and well, I will just jump in. Why don't you start be a part of our wonderful conversation now?
Sure. That you travel a lot and have been to a lot of countries. Could you share some tricks on how to spend efficiently on a trip abroad?
Yeah, I think something that I've learned from before I was even doing YouTube was just doing a lot of research. There's so many amazing, I would even say better written blogs than even vlogs on YouTube, even though it is easier to, see or it's easier just to see on YouTube someone doing it. But if you can read a good blog that just writes down like all the cheapest place to eat or, some free things to do in a city, that's probably like the best way and how I find a lot of the information that I do include in my videos.
Yeah, wow, that's fantastic to
So,
hear.
Brett, is there anything that you didn't have or like you would have wanted when you started your career? Like, is there anything you wanted with you?
Ooh.
What do you mean, like a physical thing or?
It's like anything. It's like it can be something important that could have benefited you in your career from the start.
Hmm. Hold on, it cut out when you first asked it. Can you just re-ask the question one more time? My fault.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, no
it's
problem.
like, is there anything you would have wanted from the start, or you didn't have it from the beginning when you started your career? Is there anything?
I feel like there definitely is. I mean, when I first started, um, I was just using a little point and shoot camera, and I always wanted, to be able to have a drone and, a real DSLR camera. Um, so as far as camera gear, there's that, and then I guess there's also like the money aspect because traveling when you don't have a lot of money is difficult. But there are ways. If you do want to travel, there's so many ways to figure out how to do it. Whether you're just hunting for the cheapest flights or you're using rewards or points or credit cards, like there's ways to find how to get somewhere, or if you have to hitchhike, no excuses.
Yeah,
Right.
certainly. I mean, We're learning a lot from you, Brett. I mean, all about traveling. This has given us new spectrum to look at. For us, traveling was like, get on a plane, you buy a ticket, get on a plane, and you go there. But there are so
And
many other
then
things.
just travel.
Yeah, exactly true. Speaking of which, Brett, um, we had another host, but he, for some unexpected things, he had to cancel. But he has this very unique question that he asks his guests, and that usually gets them scratching their head. But since he couldn't be here, I'll be taking the honor of asking the question. So the question is, you know, he's usually really quiet, and he has this one question that just seals the show. Like, if you were in my place, what would you ask yourself?
If I were you, like interviewing me,
Yeah, what would you ask
Yeah.
yourself?
hmm, I guess.
Gabriel took some time to answer it.
Yeah, that's a great
Respect to
Yeah.
this
question.
man.
Um, hmm, hmm. All right. How about what did I want to be when I was a little kid?
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna ask you the
And we
same
know the
question.
answer.
Exactly. We would love to know.
All right, I'm bringing that up because right now I'm actually working on a newer website, and it's kind of revolving around this message. So when I was a little kid, my parents used to always ask me, Brett, what do you want to be when you're older? And I would always say, even as a 5-year-old kid, I want to be a professional Brett. And at that time, my parents just thought I was being a wise ass, which I probably was being, but there is some truth to that. And I think even at that time, I just knew that I didn't want to settle for less than I wanted in life. I didn't want to do a job or things that I didn't love doing. And I knew that. And I knew that I wanted to, build my own thing and be my own boss. And I think with being a YouTuber, especially with what I do, that's probably the best way to describe what my job is today. Is I pretty much make videos and do what I love around my passions of traveling, of New York City, of action sports, and I just have to make a video about it and throw it on my YouTube channel. And that's what I get to do every single day. So I'm very fortunate to to be able to do that.
Oh well, then
It's
professional Brett it
amazing.
is. It's a
Professional
fantastic
Brett.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could go into that internship every day and just see the people that were, 10 to 20 years down the line from where I could be. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I'm about to spend 30 years of my life, 20 years of my life here at this firm, possibly. And this is where I would be. Like, this guy does not look happy, trust me. So I think that motivated me to like figure out something that I did truly love. Some people do love finance in that route, but I could just see that that wasn't the thing for me that, really excited me. And I say that was my motivation going into that internship that I really hated and wanted to make my company work. So I graduated college at this point, and I decided not to, move forward with the internship and not accept a full-time job and try and make it as an entrepreneur. So the first year, I stayed on couches throughout the city, from my sister's couches, my dad's couch, like just couch surfing around, just trying to make it on my own. And then after about a year of that, I got fortunate into a retail chain called Zoomies, which they have about 700 stores around the city, around the country. And once that happened, I was starting to make some decent money. And from that point, I then got my first apartment in the city, which was a 6-story walk up, a tiny bed, and like the littlest window. Uh, and it had 7 roommates. So it wasn't the most luxurious apartment. Probably the opposite. Yeah, just living with 7 strangers. But at the time, it was fine. I was still so happy. I was in like the heart of the city, like right in downtown. So it was just more paying for the location than the actual apartment. But it also still did motivate me to, hopefully one day get out of there and get a nicer place and start traveling. And I would say a couple months after being in New York, I started, growing my business, and I started my YouTube channel at this time and kind of documenting what it was like moving to New York on my own and living in my tiny apartment. And then I traveled shortly after getting into the apartment with Bobby, and yeah, that's like kind of when the love for travel filmmaking / making YouTube videos of travel happened. And I just remember getting back from that trip and couldn't wait to plan the next one, and just kind of dreamed about making travel videos and somehow making a living out of that. So I would say definitely a lot of struggles, and they were all worth it. Like it was not that bad. I feel like I had it kind of easier than some people. I think having New York City as my home is the thing that gave me the upper hand, that made it easier for me, because when I was home, I could still make awesome travel videos because yes, it's my home, but to other people, New York is a travel destination. So to live in such a cool travel destination made it easier for me to grow my channel, I think.
Okay,
Great.
yes. Fantastic story. I mean, the 7 roommate part really blew my mind. The fact that
Yeah.
you used to live there is awesome. Yeah, and but
So Brett, you have been doing YouTube from like what, 10 years maybe?
Oh,
What?
well, so I mean, I have the channel from honestly probably from like 12 years ago, but
Oh.
I didn't really post ever back then. Like I was in elementary school, I was like so young, but I did have the channel and just posted some like little skateboarding videos. And at the time, YouTube was so new, and I would post my skateboarding videos on there to show my friends at school that like I was actually this like good skateboarder, and to like show off to girls and stuff.
So you have met quite a lot of people, and of course you have your close ones. So can you tell us who has been very influential to you in your career?
I would say probably the most influential person
Yeah.
is probably been Living Bobby, to be honest. So a little backstory with that. So yeah, we met in college because we were both in the entrepreneurship club. We went to the same university, and Bobby at the time was making websites. Like he was like always an entrepreneur as well. Like he was making websites for random people and just like had this internet business. And there was a guy that came to the school and did a talk about a beer company that he started. Like just an alumni that went to our school and graduated and started a beer company. So he came and talked about that. And after the guy was done talking, Bobby went up to him and pitched him and was like, "Hey, I make websites. If you need a new website, like here's my business card," as a student, like pretty ballsy. And I overheard that. And this was when I like was just getting Fortune going and I needed a new website. So I actually hired Bobby and paid him to make like the first or second ever Fortune website. And from there, we just like really clicked. He was so entrepreneurial, but also just like wanted to travel and was just so, aspiring to do something big in life. And we just like really clicked. Probably like the only person I met in college that I still really talk to today. And I feel like if it wasn't for him, and he'd probably say this vice versa, that we would not be where we're at today now. Just like going through everything together. And I remember when we were both like writing down our goals of, wanting to hit 100,000 subscribers and 1,000,000 subscribers and just like having these big dreams. So if it wasn't for him, it would probably be, I don't even know where I would be, just because we set the same goals and, wanted to set out on becoming YouTubers together. So I credit him a lot.
That's great. I watched both of your videos and it's amazing.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Oh wow! I mean, I
Fahim was lost.
now I'm actually facing a few internet difficulties. Like all of you guys are freezing all of a sudden. So it's like, is it with me or with someone else? So yeah, I mean that's what the problem is. That's why I was I froze for a bit. So yeah, I'm enjoying this conversation a lot. I mean, Reg, you've got so many awesome stories
Yeah.
to tell. I mean,
Yeah.
we did watch Living Bobby, and I watched you as well, and it's quite surprising, how you guys have awesome backstories, how you guys go way back and have these great stories. Yeah, and yes, and something that we also realize that you of course went through struggles because I understand how it feels living in a small apartment with 7 roommates. It should be mind blowing and very surprising. So, if you have any advice for upcoming content creators, travelers, entrepreneurs, what would you say to them if they came to you for advice?
Yeah, I would still say that, even in 2020, that it's not too late at all. I still think that YouTube content creating, it's still not completely saturated. Like there's still a lot of room for more creators to come into the content creating field. A lot of people get discouraged because they see so many people on Instagram already so far along or on YouTube, but I feel like there's so many people consuming content and there's so many subgenres that you can do. So maybe if you want to be a travel YouTuber, I wouldn't recommend just starting like traveling around the entire world and just doing random videos. I think if you narrow it down at first and then grow more broadly, then you could really get into it. So an example of that would be maybe you just do like food in different cities or like street food. So something that people, it's narrowed down that all of your subscribers are really going to like all of your videos. So it's not like you're doing a food video. You're not doing like a how to travel this place video or like an extreme sports video. Like if you keep it very narrow at first and then over time get broader, that's probably your best bet right now for the algorithms with YouTube in this day.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean,
That's
the
some great
talking about
advice.
specifically for us, we're upcoming YouTuber, and this helps a lot, Yeah, and we would love to someday go down the route of becoming a professional breath, because that's the thing. Trust me, I'll tell people, like if I ever go down your route, where are you? I'm a professional breath. You never know, there might be a new occupation
Yeah.
starting just
Professional Fahim.
by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Brett. I don't want to talk about something, and then we'll just go to the credits. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sorry.
Yeah, because Adil was, he was dying to be a part of the conversation. He came in last, like, okay, I want to be a part of this, and now he's ready to be a part of this. So, Adil, come on, be a part of our conversation, contribute.
Yeah, sure. Brett, which parts of the world have you traveled? I mean, you do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
So,
So man, I can tell you where I haven't been, but I feel like there's less places of that. So I've been pretty much all throughout Europe, a lot of Asia, including Japan. I've been to the Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam. Uh, I feel like Indonesia, then like throughout South America and Colombia and Peru, and then the Caribbean. So I feel like it's been about 40 something countries now.
wow.
Fantastic. It's about time
After
you
this
put Bangladesh
after
on
this
your list.
pandemic is over, which countries are you thinking of visiting besides Mexico, of course?
Yeah, so I will be going to Mexico and posting up there for a bit and doing some quarantining there. And then was planning on going to Hawaii, which is a part of the US, but I've never been and does look like its own exotic paradise island. So definitely want to go to Hawaii's on the agenda. And then I also have plans to go to Poland with the tourism board of Poland. So I've never been to Poland. And that should be fun. And that's probably like one of my favorite things about the job. And I guess one of my dreams back in the day was to work with tourism boards. So it's definitely cool now to be able to have all these contacts and, work with them to create content and promote it on my YouTube channel.
Well, congratulations on
That's
that,
great to
then.
hear.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and it's about time you put Bangladesh on your list as well.
I
Yes.
know. I need to come to
Yeah.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, definitely.
We will be waiting.
All right. I'll hit you guys up.
Yeah, we're,
Oh,
we're
wow.
there.
Of
we're
course,
there.
of course.
So,
I'd love to meet you.
yeah, definitely.
Same here.
Definitely. You seem like such an awesome person. Well, like on through the internet, you definitely will be even better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brett, once again, huge thanks to you for being a part of our show. We're truly indebted, and to have someone like you as inspiring as you, someone living in New York, it's that's what got me. You know, like living in New York, successful guy. Yeah, we need him. He's the man. You know, and so
Appreciate that.
yeah. So thank you for being part of this show. This was well technically our dream come one of our dream come true because we always wanted a guy, a hustler who is in New York because New York is one of our favorite cities, and to have
Mhm.
a guest from New York is outstanding. So yeah, thank you very once again.
Yeah,
And
it's
thank you
huge
so
for
much.
us.
Having me. I
Yeah,
look forward to showing you guys around when you come visit one day.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Adil, would you like to do your everyday boring job of telling people to subscribe?
Okay, I could do that. So guys, please show some
Give me
love on
more
our YouTube
energy.
channel.
I was screaming at shouting a few. I was screaming shouting at Fardin a few minutes back because he didn't put in much energy. So give me that energy. Come on, make
Guys,
Brett happy.
please show some love on our YouTube channel. Please
Yes,
follow Brett. He's an awesome guy.
yes,
If you
yes.
guys haven't followed our Instagram, go follow our Instagram and our Facebook page. The links will be given down below. Yes, have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As you can see, guys, Adil was about to cry, so we need to make this child happy. Go and press the subscribe
Yeah.
button. I like now. We'll also leave Brett Conti's socials and his YouTube channel down below. His channel has a whopping 200K subscribers, but I believe it deserves a million. So just
Thank
subscribe. Definitely subscribe to him. He has awesome videos about New York, about the world, and yeah, you definitely need to check him out. And so once again, and we hope to see you guys in the next episode. Till then, be good, do good, help the people around the community, and yeah, just stay safe. Bye.